Honestly, man, the only thing I got stressed throws in my life is fucking bills, man. Insurance.
Story of everybody.
Insurance, freaking cell phone, car payment. Car payment is whatever, but the
Netflix
insurance,
payment.
Actually, my Netflix is actually not even bad, bro. It's like fucking $2 a month. I'm not even worried about
That's
that.
hella chill, bro.
I'm not even worried about that. What worries me the most is the fucking insurance, dude. Shit goes up every year.
Car insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass,
Fucking
bro.
mine went up again. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah, everybody's shit keeps going up. What the hell, bro?
It's annoying, dude.
They're making everything expensive, but they're making the quality shit. Bro, can't, like, nowadays everybody's stressing about their job, stressing about the cost of living, stressing about everything, man. Can't have shit. This whole game is a scam.
It's a scam, yeah. I was watching this video. Oh, you probably know Andre Jick or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
Stephen Graham was talking about it again. He was talking about how, yeah, even though people are scared of recessions, he goes, nah, you don't lose as much money as you think you lose in a recession. He goes, it's a little bit compared to how much you gain when we're not in a recession. So he goes, it's not really that bad. He goes, what I would recommend doing instead of people panic selling is buy more.
Yeah, the scariest part about recession is people that have paid check to paycheck, then they have to withdraw their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that makes it worse. Because then, like, how long are you going to survive without a job before you pick up the next job?
Before you pick up the next job, yeah.
I'm just trying to be over here, chill out at a movie theater, throw popcorn, yell chicken jockey.
I agree.
Hey, did you get a chance to watch that movie?
No, I was supposed to go yesterday with your brother and the rest of them, but I flaked. I was like, I can't. I was like, I got things going on. I can't do that.
Damn, you should have, bro. I heard that movie's hella good, bro.
Honestly, man, I'll watch it later. I ain't in a hurry for it.
Low-key, I've been wanting to go watch it. I don't know why.
I'm down to go watch it.
Yeah.
I'm down to go watch it with you. I don't care. I had things going on yesterday. I was like, I can't. I'm gonna get these other things done.
Get a big ass group, go watch that movie, bro. I haven't seen a movie in years, bro, at the movie theaters, and I think a movie like this would be cool to watch. Because remember, somebody brought up a point that we were watching movies like this when we were kids, like remember Spy Kids?
Mm-hmm.
There are other dumb movies, but this gives off a vibe of that.
The nostalgic vibe.
Yeah, it's hella funny because the homie Jagger, he was telling me, he's like, all the unks were there. So I was like, yo, that's our crowd. Why are we not over there?
For real.
We're just trying to relive the good old days, man.
Yeah, to be honest, bro, like, I do go to the movies. Like, I think I have a movie tip back here. Last time I went to the movies was March 1st, 25, this year.
Oh, okay.
I went by myself.
What movie was it?
It was some anime movie.
Damn, son.
But I went by myself, bro. Like, it was cool. I went by myself, treated myself a little bit. But yeah. Sometimes I'll go to the movies with my girl, like, we'll go. But, dude, the movies are ass, man.
Yeah, that's the thing,
they're not even cool. Like,
they don't have the hype.
They don't have the hype.
Before, yeah.
So, I mean, if people are saying this movie's cool, like, a lot of unks are going there. And, like you said, like, it reminds you of the movies that we used to watch when we were kids. Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to go watch a movie like that. Like, if it brings back, like, like Spy Kids and stuff like that, Because, yeah, I've been noticing lately, bro, movies have been really stale.
For real, man. It's not the same. It seems like they just keep putting them out without any, like, thought behind them.
Yeah. I was watching somebody's YouTube video. He was talking about movies back then than movies now. It was like comparing to analog versus digital, the way they make videos and movies.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, the reason why you have movies these days that aren't interesting, he goes, maybe they might have a good plot, but they don't seem to catch your eye, is because every movie and every TV show has the same kind of layout. Like, they're like the way they generate the front of the movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. So I was wondering, like, what all this shit was when it started coming out. You're talking about how it gives that soap opera look.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I hate that shit.
Yes, and that's why he says that movies are uninteresting, or movies and TV shows are uninteresting because it gets shot digitally. So the way it's presented to the audience is that the light and everything is so artificial and so fake. And it gives off, like you said, it gives off that soap opera, like, stage feeling.
Yeah,
effect.
I hate that shit.
So, like, compared to movies that were made analog, and he goes, there are some movies that directors they still do analog, and where the dark colors, like the black colors in the movie are actually black, and the light colors or the bright colors are actually bright. So when you have light, it's actually light, and when you have dark, it's actually dark. So he said that it's freaking it's more appealing to people to watch movies like that, and that's what draws attention.
Yeah, because you go to the movies to watch like the cinema type
exactly
screening.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I forgot what it was. It was like, I think a couple of years ago. I think when I first saw it, I was like, man, I can't watch these movies like this.
No, I couldn't either.
And I noticed they said it's also a feature they put in all TVs. The feature is automatically turned on, and you have to turn off that feature if you want to watch actual like the cinema quality. Because they're saying the TV does something where it like makes it look hella weird, and I don't understand. I thought it was only a me thing. I thought maybe people became fans of that style, but I'm finding out that a lot of people really dislike it. Yeah.
So people in like our age group hate movies like that because we grew up watching movies that were analog.
Yeah.
Everything was analog, and then we actually got introduced to like them getting shot onto digital with digital cameras and getting rid of film and stuff like that. So we got both ends of this how it's filmed. So as movies progress even more, everything's just shot with digital CGI, everything like fake lighting and everything. So like it looks fake and looks very soap opera in the front.
The best way I can describe it is they're trying to give it that real life feeling
when it's not real life.
Yeah, it shouldn't it have that feeling. It should actually feel like a movie.
Yeah. And so for us, because we got to see both, we don't like movies like that anymore. We're used to our nostalgic movies the way they were. And the new generation, well, that's all they know, is these movies that are coming out today.
Damn, I can't even imagine that.
Honestly, I didn't pick up on this. So the light bulb first came on for me was when...
What was the first movie you'd say?
I'll tell you right now. And I still hate these movies with a passion, but this made me not want to watch these movies at all. It was one of the Avengers movies. So I was actually house sitting for somebody I know, and bro, these guys had nice TVs, bro, fucking surround sound and everything. So I was just chilling in the living room, right? I was fucking watching the dogs, and I was like, all right. So I turned the TV on, and the Avengers were on, but the TV was so good that I feel like it made the movie seem super fake. Like,
you know what it is? They didn't turn off that setting. You got to turn off that setting.
And at the time, I didn't know, bro. And so, like, everything, all the movements, you could see all the details, the big details. When I broke them down mentally, I was like, bro, this shit's so fake. Like, you could see it's a fake set. It's a fake costume. It's all fake. Like, there's no magic, if you per se, there anymore. Even the sound didn't sound right to me. Even with them having like thousands of dollars worth of like entertainment stuff, I was like, I can't. So I had to switch it to like something different. But I after that time, bro, after that day, I told myself, fuck, dude, like, are movies really this bad? And I couldn't watch. To this day, I don't really watch the Avengers, but I couldn't watch the Avengers anymore after that because I knew it was fake. It just didn't look real.
When I go online and I watch movies, it doesn't have that effect.
No.
So I'm guessing it must be something with the TVs they played on. Because the first movie I saw it on was Transformers.
That too.
I was like, yo, it looks like a bunch of blocks running around. This is crazy, bro. I was like, I can't watch this shit. I forgot I was walking through the store, and I thought that's how the people in Hollywood made it, but it turned out it's like the TVs and the way they project it.
The way they project
it. Yeah, so I was like, I ain't watching that shit. So every time I watch a movie now, it's like that cinematic version. I don't know how to like describe it.
No. So
analog, I guess you said?
Yeah, it's analog.
Okay, yeah, that's all.
So the reason why, maybe a lot of people don't know this, and maybe they do, but the reason why movies at the movie theaters are different versus your movies that you watch at home is because the movies that they show at the movie theaters is still analog. It's still film. They're not like they're not on like a USB drive or on a freaking memory stick or whatever, or a memory drive that they're just projecting out. It's still film. So when you're watching it at the movie theaters, it's almost like the way that they were already like the way they were produced,
The way they were filmed.
the way they were filmed, because you can still see the blacks look black, the whites look white, the light looks like natural light. But then when they get that movie processed to the TV or to like Blu-ray or any streaming service, they have to cut it down into like a digital, so there's more of like a blue film over it. Yeah, and then it makes everything dull. That's why the movies are always like, when people go to when you go see a movie at movies, it's still, even if it's a new movie, it still has that feeling to it, because you can see all, like, stuff you're not, the way the guy said in the video is like, when you go to the movies and you see analog, you're seeing stuff, you don't see stuff that you're not supposed to see, but when you go to watch it on your TV, you see stuff that you shouldn't be seeing. Like, for example, if that trash can over there, it was supposed to be hidden, it was supposed to be dark, in the movies you won't see it. But if you see it in on your TV, you're going to see all the crevices and stuff on the trash can when that's not even part of the actual set. And, it's not supposed to be seen. So it's weird how they how they do that.
I think a good example of how movies should look is The Matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix, they got it down perfect.
Yeah, they got it down perfect. Yeah, I will say that.
That's how it looks. So, yeah, it's weird how people are used to that shit, because I can't watch that shit, man.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
Even I noticed video games are turning like that.
Video games are turning like that too.
Yeah. It's hella weird, bro.
They're using a lot of like gaming engines to make games and stuff like that, so they make them super realistic. But when they're just it's overkill.
Yeah, facts. But that movie seems pretty dope. It's hella funny, bro. Some people, they took these kids, they took like a chicken into the movie theater, and then everybody starts throwing popcorn and streamers.
What the heck?
And then one of the guys, he's sitting on somebody's shoulders and he's holding up a chicken. That shit's funny as hell, bro. I saw it on IG, and the patron sent me the video later on. It was on TikTok too.
Was it?
Yeah, it was hella funny, bro. I was like, how'd they sneak a chicken into the movie theater, bro?
That's crazy.
I think I sent it in the group chat.
I'll find it later.
Bro, that shit was hella funny, bro. And then they're saying like they're stopping the movie theater. But then I saw another video, they're saying that other countries, they're like, okay, you can do that, but only in this theater.
Like, they have a specific theater where you can do it in? That's sick.
Because I was thinking about that. I was like, man, they should just make a specific section where like they let people do all that shit, and then have one side where like families, if they want to watch it peacefully, they can watch it peacefully.
That's true.
The only thing that sucks is like the people that are going to clean all that shit up. That shit's kind of ass. I'd probably quit my job if I had to go through that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many times a day they have to show it, and how many times somebody comes and starts throwing shit?
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be like, man, I ain't doing this shit. I'm leaving, bro.
Facts.
But everything's been kind of crazy. You seen the thing with Kanye West?
Mm-mm.
How he came in wearing that costume?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people thought it had to do with a different group of people, but it turns out, I was watching this IG video, I forgot which guy it was, but man, these people, they research things hella fast. It turns out those cloaks that are worn, they're worn by Christians, and they make people wear them as a humiliation ritual.
Yo, really?
Yeah, when they do something like wrong, they have to wear it as like a sign of humiliation.
Damn, so he was humiliated then.
Yeah, they're saying he had to go through that. It's called capitote or some shit like that. I don't know what it is, but and they said they're showing so like the way the hood is and the eyes and all that, but the guy showed like when you flip the Tesla logo upside down, it looks like that hood. So they're saying that Elon Musk is a humiliation ritual, all the shit he does.
Dang.
It's hella weird, bro. I gotta I'll probably post a clip, but I thought it was pretty cool. Like, just seeing it from that lens, you know? But everything nowadays feels like a humiliation ritual. Like, because, like, now, like, if you want to do anything and someone doesn't want you doing it, you have to go along with the program. I was talking to this OG, right? He's a hella cool dude. He was talking about how the school system gets you ready for a 9-to-5, like, the real world, right? But he put it in a perspective I never thought about it before. Because I know, like, they train you at school. They want you to be, like, a good employee. They want you to be in line and all that. But then he put a different perspective on it. He said it from a different different point of view. He was saying that, why do you think we have 2 recesses and a lunch?
2 breaks and a lunch.
Yeah, at school
At
too.
school,
You get 2
you get 2
recesses and a
recess.
lunch, bro.
Because in a work
In the
environment, you get 1 break before lunch and 1 break before after lunch.
Yeah.
You're entitled to 2 15-minute breaks.
So that's how much that conditioning goes. I was like, damn, I never thought about that shit, bro.
I didn't either, but at the same time, I was like, fuck, I answered that question hella fast.
Yeah.
I didn't
Like,
think about
we
that.
didn't even know, bro.
No.
Like, I've known this not whole time, but like recently, I'd say like a couple of years back, since like 2014, I've known that the school system was like programming us.
Yeah, same.
But I never knew. I forgot about the 2 recesses and 1 lunch.
I did too.
Even in high school, bro, we had 1 break and 1 lunch, or what was it?
No, we had 2 breaks and 1 lunch.
Oh, we had 2 breaks as well.
We had 1 break before lunch, like in between first and second, because me and you were on a block schedule, remember?
Yeah.
So we had 4 classes a day.
Yeah.
So we would have class 1 break, class 2, then lunch, class 3 break, class 4.
Oh, okay. Because I remember there just being 1 break.
No, we had
lunch.
2 breaks, bro. No, we had 2 breaks. We would have a break in between every class.
Yeah, but even then, even with like 1 break, bro, that's still hella crazy. Or 2 breaks or 1 break, that's still hella crazy, because they're programming us into being good employees.
Yeah.
And that's when he said that shit, blew my mind, bro.
And if
like,
I
oh my
remember
God,
correctly,
dude.
bro, I actually want to say that our breaks were actually 15 minutes.
They were 15 minutes.
They were 15-minute
15-minute breaks and then 30-minute lunch, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, they got us good. They forgot to tell us that part. They forgot to tell us they were programming us.
And you know what's crazy? Yeah, because in the state, you have 15-minute breaks, and it's mandatory for you to take at least half an hour of a lunch, of a lunch break. Recommended 1 hour if you work an 8-hour day, but it's at least the minimum is 30 minutes.
Bro, we've been going through these humiliation rituals since kids, bro.
We were freaking conditioned, bro.
Yeah, they were making us do all these things without us knowing why. And they were like, their whole philosophy was go to school, get a job, live your best life, live an amazing life, and you'll be good set.
Yeah.
Have kids, have grandkids.
You know what I've noticed lately? I've been talking to hella people, like even at work, like customers of mine. They're all telling me the same thing. Like they're all kind of like agreeing with this, is that there's no point in trying to retire early. Like not retire early. I'm sorry. There's no point in trying to work all this time for you to spend 20 years of retirement.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you supposed to do with those 20 years? You're gonna be in a nursing home, or you're gonna be freaking on Social Security. You're like, fuck that. You're better off just freaking either chilling right now, hang out and work, or going out and working right now, have fun, and then versus doing that 20 years, because like you can't do that when you're that old. They're like, that's not even a life. They're like, can you imagine? Some people tell me, can you imagine working, say till you're 70, put it 70. And then you got 30 more years to live. That's not even life anymore.
Like, you should be able to live right now. Like,
yeah,
go travel, meet new people. My whole thing is meeting new people and meeting interesting people and just going about seeing new things.
I agree.
Because the earth is vast. You should be able to see whatever. Even though I'm not big on travel right now, but still, I think we should be afforded that option.
Yeah, like you said, the earth is vast. There's a lot of things to see out there, bro.
Hella shit, bro. And it's like kind of like they're gatekeeping it
from everybody.
Just so a certain select few can do that shit. Meanwhile, everybody's stuck in a rut. And half the people, they don't even realize why they're upset. They don't know what's the root issue is, because they're like, oh, it sucks. They'll say this sucks, we gotta work a job, this system's corrupt, like these politicians are corrupt, but they don't look at the bigger picture, right? The bigger picture is there's few families at the top running the whole game. They made the whole game, so that way people are where they're at today.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Man, it just sucks how so much people are out there just so blind to this shit, dude.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this politician is doing this. This person, they're playing the blame game. Oh, this country wants war with us. That's why we gotta like send more money like towards this cause and that. Meanwhile, your own country's like funding these groups, so that way they have so that way it's like a back and forth thing, so they can send money like wherever they want and shit like that. Wherever money goes, there's like a little bit being skimmed off the top and going into somebody else's pockets.
Oh yeah.
Or towards other projects. So, and it's funny, like, cause our whole time we're taught we should be obedient. You get rewarded for obedient, but the people that are actually in charge and running the game, nobody's questioning them. They're letting them do whatever they want. No, they have free will. Meanwhile, everybody else has to follow orders. Yeah, man, it's crazy like how much people they think so small. Like, for example, a lot of people are upset they have to go back to work, right? But there's other people saying, "Oh yeah, you're supposed to go back to work. That's how life is supposed to be." But it's like, come on, man, we all know it's not supposed to be like that. You're so like far gone thinking like it's all about work, 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 and you're just pretty much flexing. Like, you know how the older generations, they were caught in the mindset of you need to stop being lazy and you need to work hard and you need to pull yourself up. But they don't realize in their time it was different. And they were so blind, they didn't have the access to information. There were some people that read books and became enlightened. There's more people realizing now, like the game we're in, like it's like a losing game unless you break out.
Unless you break out, yeah, that's true.
Those same people that are always working, they're kind of miserable themselves, bro. Who finds joy in just working for no reason? Like, at least if you're working towards something and you get to see the fruits of your labor, it's worth something. But they're working, you know what they say? They say either you're working for your own dream or you're working for somebody else's dream. And most people, they're working for somebody else's dream. And they take pride in that shit. Like, how are you going to be proud to make somebody else's dream get better, you know?
Well, it's because we're programmed to do that. We're programmed. I mean...
they don't like free thinkers. They say it in school, like, you should be a free thinker. Question. They only want you to question like religious views and stuff. They don't want you to question like immorality.
Well, they don't want you to question what's not in the system.
Yeah, exactly.
They want you to question everything else. So, but yeah, no, I think it's different because of cultures and stuff. But I think and you could probably attest to this, but I think it happens more in like an immigrant or a brown culture that you get taught or you get told that you gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. Even if it's for somebody, you gotta work hard, and that's the way you'll make it. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, man, you can't be slave driving. Like, I remember when I first started working up until like, I want to say to where I'm at right now, the job I'm at right now. In my other jobs, I hustled so much, man, like for somebody else, thinking that's how I was supposed to do it. And once you burn out, then you start figuring out that approach was the wrong approach. Like, you shouldn't be hustling for other people. You gotta hustle for yourself. So for me now, like where I'm at right now with my current job, I don't hustle as hard as I used to, bro. And I know I sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, you know what? I don't feel bad for my job because I don't do that. I feel bad for myself because I'm like, I used to hustle harder, or I used to work harder. But at the end of the day, it just gets taken for granted because all they see is that's what these people want. They want you to work hard for them, but not for yourself.
Yeah, I also think it comes down to energy. If you're spending so much energy towards one thing, you don't have energy. You're not spending energy towards like helping yourself get better. You're just helping towards somebody else, and then like your energy just gets depleted.
I agree.
Because you're not powering yourself.
You're not powering yourself, no.
Like to become better, and because you hear about all these stories about people doing overwork or overtime and all that shit, doing 80, 90 hours a week, but like at the end of the day, is that money worth the time you're spending right now, like killing your health and all that?
It's not. I'll tell you right now, when I was working at a job, it only lasted me for a year, month and a half, but I was working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, almost 11 hours, on, including my 30-minute, 40-minute commute. Bro, the money was cool, but it's not worth it, man. Even on the day I had off, I was like, oh, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do that, I'm going to go do this. You don't have energy to do it. You're so overworked from the work week that by the time you have your day off, you're tired.
Yeah.
You're tired. You don't have time to spend your money. Yeah, cool. What good is that money gonna do in your bank account? Chilling when you don't have time to go do anything. Like, you don't have time to even go out and go enjoy a simple meal for yourself. Like, that's where I was at in my life. It's like, I don't want this. I can't do this. I was already annoyed at 1 month and a half. I couldn't imagine doing it for 6 months, a year, 4 years. I can't do that.
Bro, I forgot. I saw a study. They said like hella people are overworking past their time.
Mm-hmm.
They're allotted time for work.
Yeah.
And they're not getting paid for
They're
that
not getting
shit.
paid,
I was
yeah.
like, why would you do that shit, man?
Fuck
Come on,
that,
bro.
dude.
Yeah, you don't want to do that shit.
I don't do nothing for free anymore,
Yeah.
dude.
That shit's
No.
that shit is killing your soul, bro.
Yeah, I don't do nothing for free anymore, dude.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, if you're told that you gotta work extra at work, stay on the clock. Don't clock out. That's your time. You're worth something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or if you got things going on, you could simply tell your employer, hey, you know what? I can't work overtime today. It's not possible. And if they tell you, oh, you have to, no, you're not obligated to work overtime. It's just extra shift that, you know, you're picking up. But nah, if you got personal things going on the outside of work, fuck that, dude. Go do your personal things, you know?
Yeah, you gotta have a life, especially people with like families and stuff. I feel bad for them. Like,
Same.
especially with these people that are overworking, because right, you're spending all that time like overworking, right, trying to make something of yourself, and then let's say, okay, you overworked, and then next thing you know, you have a family. Now you spent all that time, you didn't get to enjoy it. You're just trying to work for your family, and you're trying to raise them. And then the cycle continues. Either your family's gonna squander your wealth, or they're gonna get stuck in the same cycle.
Yep.
But you gotta have somebody break out of that cycle. Take a step back and think about it, like what the actual step should be in life. But
yeah, I agree. I do feel bad for people like that.
Because I look at our parents like, look how much they busted. You know, working long hours, working hard, stressing. You know, they didn't have people to guide them, like tell them like how to spend their money or invest it. And they worked so hard at the end, when they get to retire and shit, they don't really get to enjoy like anything they did, because they spent all that time trying to raise us and like trying to figure out what's going on, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I'm at this. I see my parents. They're like that too, you know.
Yeah, you're like, shit, man. Because now even when they want to take a vacation or go somewhere, they have to think hella hard, because they're like, shit, are we gonna waste money doing this? But in reality, it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. No.
Because their money's just getting eaten up by inflation, and it's crazy, bro. Like, it's so, I don't even know. Like, now it's crazy. You gotta, dude, like, to come up, like, for your retirement, you gotta plan like 30, 40 years in advance. And even then you could be wrong, bro. That's how crazy this game is. If you make one wrong error, like, that could be your like rest of your life down the toilet. I
agree.
And you worked all that hard time and all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Did all that hard work.
It sucks because I see it like one of my boss, you know, he already has a date that he's supposed to retire. Mentally, he tells us every day, like, he has a countdown. And then now he's like, I don't even know I'm gonna be able to retire because the way our retirement set up at work is like it's through the market, blue chip stocks and stuff like that. But because the market's been crap, he goes, man, I just lost hella money. He goes, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to retire that day. Even if
they do take out that money, they get taxed, bro. Hella hard, bro. Like, come on, how are you gonna tax someone when they're like, you know, they spent their money investing it, they took their own risk. They took the risk of it falling down and shit. And now they gotta get penalized for.
Well, for me, I'm paying taxes on my retirement right now.
Yeah,
I'm paying the taxes.
That does not make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, I'd rather pay it right now than pay it when I'm retired, because I know when I'm retired, I'm not going to be working. I can't afford to pay all that tax on the money I'm paying out. Right now, I can afford it because I'm working.
And taxes might be higher.
Yeah, taxes might be higher. So I'd rather pay the tax right now that I can afford it while I'm working than when I'm retired. So that's what I've been doing.
And nobody's questioning these things. This is crazy, bro. Like,
well, they're not questioning it because people are so...
It's like this...
They're stuck in the system. They're stuck by saying, like, oh fuck, I gotta work. I gotta go to work. I gotta make my money. Then they go home.
Because it seems so normal.
It
seems so normal to them that, okay, we gotta pay a tax on this. Okay, whatever. Right? It's a part of the game. But they don't question, like, who's running the game and why it's being ran like this.
And when you go up to them and you tell them how it's ran, they're like, no, that's not right. That's not how it is.
Or they don't want to talk about it. They just brush it off.
They brush it off.
It reminds me of when I used to work retail. I used to see old people, and I used to ask them like if they had certain things like an online account or setup. They're like, no, we don't have the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be for the better or the worse, but still, like, at least you should see what's going on, you know? You never know. You might need that shit, or, like, you don't want to be caught off guard. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be like, oh, I should have, like, looked into it, like.
Exactly.
Because there's opportunities that come with everything, knowing about things.
I agree.
Either you know what? You know how they say, either catch up with the times or get left behind. That's the sad thing, bro. Yeah. It's like the reality. It's like you got to learn to adapt and shit.
But you know what? Boomers are having trouble with that. Yeah. Some boomers are well off because their times were different. But they're having trouble keeping up with it, bro. They can't. And I think that's their downfall. Yeah, they're probably loaded now. But they're having trouble with all this technology. Like, you can't, like, I get questions all the time, bro, from boomers, like, oh, I need help with this because my this is not pairing to this. And it's just simple questions that, like, for me, like, dude, this is easy, bro, really?
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, it's like, it's consequences because you're over here talking crap about our generation about not being able to make it, but here's your consequence. You can't even figure out a simple iPhone, you know, simply pairing your phone to your car. You can't figure that out, you know? But
yeah, I think if you can't be talking down on other people if you're not gonna know, like, how things work. And I think that's just simply because they choose not to. Yeah, because they're not willing to change. So I notice some boomers are hard-headed. They don't want to change. They don't want to change. They're still comfortable with their old ways of doing things, newspapers and everything's not online, you know, stuff like that. So bro, they were saying that, what is, oh yeah, those memes we were talking about earlier, they were hella funny, bro, when they said boomers after buying a house for
pretzels,
for a bag of peanuts and something else, and they shows them dancing, bro. Those memes kill me, bro. I'll be done laughing. But I've been seeing a lot of arguments on X about people saying boomers need to reap what they sow, but I think that's kind of a negative way to look at things, because, like, we should all be helping each other, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, because doesn't mean, like, everybody's bad just because, like, some people did things, you know? Because if you think about it, a lot of boomers weren't rich either. Like,
no,
a lot of them were afforded the opportunity to come up.
There was this guy I seen. I think we talked about this one, but I seen on YouTube. It was describing the boomer economy versus the economy now, and the guy was kind of breaking it down. And back then it was just one person working. Like, it was just a man. Like, the woman would stay home and provide the family and stuff. So the way everything came out calculation wise, they were almost like, their economy was almost just the way our economy is set up now. It's just there's more stuff out there that's more lavish and people choose to spend on than the average American would back in the day, like in the boomer economy.
So there's more things to spend money on, and people are getting caught in that cycle. Yeah,
that's what the guy was saying. It is. He goes, back then they didn't have the online shopping that they do now.
That's true.
They didn't have. There was department stores, but it wasn't like the way they have them now, where it's like the wealth department stores. Like, you got your like, they had name brands and stuff, but it wasn't the stuff that was put out there in front of you. Like, you just went to the department store to go buy what you needed, and that was it, and stuff like that. But I think now, he was talking about now that the way it is like, our economy is still set up the same way. Maybe the dollar has changed, but the amount of money that you're still paying for things is still the same as far as value goes. But he said it's just that there's more stuff that you see around you that is eating up more of your money.
That's true.
Like, you got online shopping, instant like this, eats up your money. You got luxury goods, designer goods that are just eating up your money like this because of fads and trends. And back in the day, it wasn't like that. So you were able to kind of buy your house and buy your car and do this without having to keep up with your neighbor next door. Like they say, keeping up with the Joneses. You had that, but it was different. It was a different way of keeping up. You were keeping up because you were like, oh shit, like, they got a good lawn, I gotta have a good lawn too. It wasn't like, oh, the neighbor has a freaking brand new car, why don't I have one? It was a different kind of a keeping up with the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting the way he kind of made it a different perspective. It makes kind of sense.
Yeah, I like the shopping of today because you have all these options. Like you can pick what kind of money you're spending for the quality you get. For example, if you went to department stores back then or whatever, they would charge you up the ass.
They would charge you up the ass, yeah.
For some basic lame shit. But now you have so many options. You can read reviews on things. You can see what people's experiences were with what they bought.
Yeah.
You have cheaper options. Like, for example, you might have some designer colognes, but you'll find like colognes that are similar or smell better for like a fraction of the price.
Fraction of the price, yeah.
And it's being sent to you. So yeah, I think honestly, if you can stay on the track of not spending too much money, today's options are better.
I think so too. Yeah. It's just that people fall into that temptation of they gotta buy everything that they see, or they gotta buy everything that they're faced with, you know?
Yeah, so like all these trends that come out and all that, just know you're being targeted by these ads. Everything that comes out, it has a sneaky way of influencing people. Like anything that you think is a trend, it's like you're being influenced. Just be aware of that.
Yeah, it's marketing at its finest.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about today. Guess it's time to go. Weather's hella nice and breezy.
It feels good outside. It's not even hot.
Yeah, this is the best weather, man. I think so too. When I was a kid, bro, we would have people at our house, and then when they'd be leaving, I remember the weather would be like this, low key.
Yeah.
And it used to be badass.
It's sick. I like it.
But yeah, guys, enjoy your guys' weekend.
Yep.
I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye.